Welcome back to Solo Adventures! My name is Livy and I'm here yet again with another BGG Solitaire PnP game review. So today the game we're going to be looking at is Gotta Get Out of This Space. In this game you explore outer space while trying to evade robots. So this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm actually not going to be playing this game on camera for you, and I have a couple of reasons for it. One is that the format of this game is sort of hybrid. You cannot just play this game with printed out components. You need to have a computer or some access to the internet to be able to access the website to play this game. This game is also meant to be played only once and then it passed along to another person, and so therefore I've already done my play of this game. And also the cards for this game are really big. Like, look at the size of these. You need to set up a pretty big grid in order to get this game working, and it's a little bit awkward to fit everything in the camera. So I really don't think you're going to have any trouble whatsoever. This game is extremely simple, and the tutorial is actually built into the required website that you will need to play this game. And you can just look at the website even and get a feel for how this might play without printing out the components and trying it for yourself. So in a nutshell, you have a little spaceship and you have these tiles that are laid out according to the pattern that the website tells you. And there are like fuel cubes and upgrades and things that are put on different planets according to what the website says there are. And then there's robots that spawn, and there's rules for the robots moving, and you basically can use one free action per turn, but then after that your actions cost fuel, and you can either move or fight aliens or collect fuel. The objective of the game is to get out of this space, and this is to get to the exit tile, whatever it is for your current map. So that's really all you need to know, is just get your spaceship from point A to point B and try not to get your ship damaged too much. Along the way, when you pick up upgrades and things like that, you will need to click on the little icons on the website and they will tell you what you need to do. So let's get into the build for this game. I did not laminate these cards, and that's partly because I think this is a game where you have to write on them in a lot of cases. Like, if you upgrade a card permanently on your ship, you might actually write on it with a pen. And this is because the whole idea behind this game is that you have a spaceship and you play this game, and you might upgrade it or get new crew members, or maybe the crew members die, and then you fill out the ship's log and then you mail this game to another person who will have the code for your spaceship, who can log on to the website and continue the saga of the spaceship there. So the build of this game is pretty easy. You just have to print out the cards. Something seemed to be a little bit wrong for some reason with the way the words came out. These kind of weird artifacts in the text pop up, and I really don't know how to get rid of it. But you can also make this game completely by scratch without a printer by just like writing on index cards. And the tokens that you use, I think they might have a printout option, but you can of course just use whatever you have lying around. So this game is very DIY. This is the kind of game that you will be writing on. You will be altering your ship, and as you get new crew members, you fill out their card with their special ability, and then presumably you have to draw a picture and give them a name. And that's kind of cool if you're really into that kind of thing. I could see this as being a fun activity for some kids, or people who don't mind getting a little silly and don't mind drawing pictures and building a spaceship that way. Your spaceship is modular. It's made up of these various parts, so I think it might be possible to get upgrades that will allow you to build onto the spaceship. I'm not entirely sure because I only played as far as I was directed to, which was really not very long. The only thing that really changed permanently on my ship is that I was able to cross out the action that says pick up all fuel on this square, and I changed it to improved pump. So that means that I don't have to spend an action to pick up fuel. If I just land on a space with fuel, I can pick it up. So if I was to mail this to my friend, it would already have this upgrade when it arrives. You're also supposed to note the fuel and damage of your ship before you pass it on to another person. So it really is just purely passing the baton. Wherever the ship was from its last adventure, that is how you are going to get it. So what did I like about this game? Well, the website for this game is extremely impressive looking. It's really colorful, it looks really professional. I was really impressed when I saw it the first time, and I got pretty excited. It just looks cool. The whole like little story segments and the interface and the way that you put together the build that you want to make for your ship, that's really cool. And it's good that the website is good because after all, you are required to use it. I like how this game is really simple, how you can learn it so easily just reading along with the text that's on the screen, and it has kind of step-by-step what to do every round, so you never really have to question or wonder about what you do next. The rules are extremely clear. I think that the idea of being able to customize your ship by like drawing on it and having this whole kind of legacy element sort of thing is cool. I think that's a clever idea. And I think that it would be fun to make this game and pass it around between some friends or some family or something like that. As for what I didn't like about this game, well, in all fairness, I had a slight prejudice against this game from the beginning. And that is because I am almost strictly an analog gamer. I do not like playing games that require me to use an app. And this is partly because every game that uses an app has an expiration date, but this is also because I play solo games and solo print and play games to escape from technology. I like to play board games to get away from screens. And so to me, bringing in my laptop or my smartphone to my gaming time feels a little bit like an invasion, and I personally don't like it that much. So yeah, I guess that's really the first thing that I don't like, is that this is a hybrid print and play. I mean, technically it is print and play because you can print out the parts, but it isn't strictly print and play because it's more like go to the website, fill in some stuff, check out some boxes, download your components, then print, then build, then follow the instructions on the screen, and then play, and then pack up and give to your friend. It's a bit weird in that respect. It is also not strictly a solo game, in my opinion, because even though you can play this game by yourself, there is the expectation that if you play this game that you are going to pass on your spaceship to a friend and they will continue the saga. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have any friends. I'm just kidding, but honestly, I don't have any friends that would want to play a game like this with me, and I think it's a little bit much to ask us to have a social group to pass this on to for us to really have a fun time with. I think that's really where the vast majority of the fun in this game comes from, is the customizing of the ship, of the whole legacy elements, of the whole putting your time into carefully illustrating the cards and writing some interesting comments in the captain's log and kind of building this whole story behind your spaceship. It almost doesn't feel like a game. I mean, it is possible for you to lose, but I do not think that there's actually a win condition. I think that your spaceship will just continue on through space until finally it explodes, and that will be the end of the game, but I don't think that there's any final objective. It just goes on and on. So this game is maybe a little bit less like a game and a bit more like an activity. Something I really didn't like about this game was how short it was. Like, I spent way more time printing this out and preparing this game than I did actually playing it. And I feel like I spent as much time setting up the tiles as I did actually playing this game, almost. And then just as the game started getting going and maybe getting a little bit more challenging, it was the end. There are only 3 levels that you play through, and they are quite short, and I just kind of had the feeling of, oh, okay, so that was it? Alright, I guess it's time to pack up my ship and send it to my friend. When talking about print and plays, something I like to focus on when I review them is your bang for buck ratio. So not every print and play game needs to be amazing, but to me the value of a print and play game is directly proportional to how much fun do you get and how hard is it to build. And in this case, I would say this game really does not have very good bang for your buck. I first off printed off everything in color because I wasn't really aware that this is a game I only am supposed to play once. But I did go through all the trouble of making the cards and rounding the corners, and I mean, if you want to play this properly, you have to like draw little pictures and, you know, illustrate the cards yourself, and then setting up your solar system in every level also takes a somewhat decent amount of time because the cards are specific. You know, you have like the gas cloud or the robot factories, and they have to be placed in specific places, and it can take a little bit of time hunting around and trying to find it. It's not that bad, but I do feel like the setup for me feels kind of long for the amount of time that it takes to play a level. Maybe I'm looking at this from the wrong perspective though, like maybe if this game is made strictly for kids, I could kind of get this a bit better. Maybe if this was strictly for children, like the ease and the shortness of this game would be good because kids have short attention spans, so maybe it is a good thing. And I do know that I guess technically you could continue playing your own ship. You could just pretend that you are a different person. So instead of when you were done packing it up and sending it to a friend, you can just be like, oh, I'll play it again. And you could do that. I don't really think that I would want to do that because the gameplay is nothing particularly compelling, and I think that the real fun of this, the real point of the game, is to see how the ship evolves over time. And if it's only you evolving the ship, it's a lot less interesting. So my verdict on this game is a little bit strange. Now, I know that I sound really critical talking about this game, but honestly, it's not a bad game. I think it does what it's trying to do, and that is being a platform for storytelling and creativity that you can pass from one person to another. And that's fine. I think that it succeeds, I guess, as far as it tries to be. It's a simplistic game that maybe kids can enjoy, and it doesn't take that long, and you can just pass it from person to person. If you just want to play this game by yourself, though, if you just want to play this game by yourself, though, I do not really think it's worth the build. It might be interesting to you just because this is a slightly different experience and it does integrate with a website, but for me it kind of came off as a little bit gimmicky feeling. I was questioning why I needed to have an actual print and play game if you need the website in order to play this. Like, couldn't you make the whole ship virtual and then just email it to a friend? Maybe that would even be easier. I don't know. I mean, I guess like if you draw pictures on the cards, they wouldn't be the same, but there could probably be a way around that. But yeah, to me it just seemed a little bit odd that you have to have a website and you have to have physical cards to play this game. I mean, what they could have done is they could have made like all of these squares and the robots and things like that. They could have put that on the screen as well, and you could maneuver your spaceship and then the robots would automatically move because it's not up to you to decide how the robots spawn or move. So the computer could have taken care of that little bit of bookkeeping. And then maybe you would just have to print out the ship itself with its paper components, and this game would be then a lot smaller, a lot faster to set up, and just a lot easier to do in general. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to say about this game. It is not my personal cup of tea. I didn't really have a super exciting time with this, but if you have kids and if you want to do something creative together, or if you really like the idea of creating kind of this ongoing spaceship that you pass from friend to friend, then this game might be for you. But I think a lot of people might also be like me and also not like the fact that you're required to be online when you're playing this game, and also that you basically need a friend to pass this on to in order to play this game properly, so to speak. It's not meant to be played by one person. And if you are just one person, as a lot of us solo gamers are, maybe this game isn't for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and you can check out my Patreon if you like. You can also check out the group for solo adventurers on Facebook. So until next time, my friends, stay adventurous.